Hello guys, my name's Aaron, this is the 5 Red Lights, and today we're not talking F1 2021, we're talking F1 2022 and the driver lineup for next year's grid.
1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's go, 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 go!
Welcome along then to a new episode of the 5 Red Lights. As I said, my name is Aaron, and today we are talking the F1 2022 driver lineup on the grid. So before I crack on with that, first of all, thank you for all the support over the last few videos. My unboxing, my very first drive crate box video has reached 25 views, which may not seem very much, but for a person who's just sort of doing this on his own and fairly new to all of this, that is a huge amount of support. And I've been interacting with people in the comments, and I've been trying different things out and learning lots of things as I go along, doing all this stuff, and I'm enjoying it, and it's really good to see lots of support and people getting involved, watching and commenting, which has been brilliant. So thank you for all of that. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a like. That would be very appreciated. Alright, so that's all the admin out of the way and behind us. Let's crack on with what I think the 2022 grid is going to look like, and we're going to start with Ferrari. Both of their drivers are under contract, so it's going to be Charles Leclerc, partnered by Carlos Sainz Jr. They're going to make some progress in 2021, and they're going to have the opportunity to progress that further in 2022, of course, with the new regulations coming in. Sainz is going to have to obviously prove that he deserves that seat, because they've spoken about getting Mick Schumacher in for 2023. I think Sainz will do enough. He's a solid enough driver, and if they produce a car that is more than good enough for winning races, then he will do the job. He may even be good enough to challenge Charles for supremacy within the team, but we'll have to wait and see. 2022, Ferrari will field Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Next up then is McLaren, and similar situation here really to Ferrari, because both their drivers are under contract. It's going to be Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris. They're going to be strong this season. I think they're going to be at the head of the midfield, chasing Red Bull for second fastest or second place in the World Championship, and it's a good pairing. Lando's learning all the time. Daniel wants to be a race winner again. He wants to be world champion. McLaren wants to be a world champion team again. So it just makes sense. It just fits, doesn't it? It's like a puzzle. And McLaren are getting the pieces of the puzzle back into the right place. They've done it before in the 80s, in the 90s, and they're going to do it again now, and they're going to be a real force to be reckoned with in the coming years, I think. Haas, if they stay in the sport as Haas F1, or whoever comes in and takes over that team if they get sold on, I think they're going to still keep the Ferrari, the link with Ferrari, so they'll keep Mick Schumacher, and obviously Nikita Mazepin is under contract as well. Now obviously if it's Mazepin's dad who buys the team, I think Mazepin's very much in with a shout, and if there's someone else who may buy the team, Mazepin may stick around as well. But if it's someone different, someone who decides, no, we don't need that money, Mazepin might be on his way out, but I don't see that happening. So I think it would be Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin at Haas, or whatever they are called next season. Aston Martin. So here is the first team with what will be a vacant seat for 2022. They've got 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel already signed up. Lawrence Stroll owns the team. Lance has made progress through 2020. I think he's going to take another step in 2021, and he will secure his seat for 2022. The only other option, I think, if it's not Lance Stroll going into Aston Martin, is possibly Valtteri Bottas. Now, Bottas has only got a 1-year deal, and obviously there's a lot of speculation about who's going to end up in the Mercedes seats for 2022, and we'll get to that a little bit later to what I think. Bottas could be an option for Aston Martin. I don't see it happening. I think Lance Stroll will do enough to secure his seat. So Aston Martin will field Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll in 2022. Next up is Alfa Romeo, and both seats are actually available here for 2022. So Kimi Raikkonen, I think, will be on his way out. I think he's going to retire. Probably about time, because Ferrari have got a lot of young talent coming through. And if they were going to pair one of those youngsters with Kimi, they'd have done it this season, I think. I'm not sure what is keeping Giovinazzi in the seat. Possibly Ferrari just not thinking that all of their youngsters are up to scratch, or Haas going, excuse me, we need a driver. So Mick Schumacher's at Haas, Callum Ilott is the test driver, Robert Schwartzman is still in Formula 2. So with Kimi moving out of the way, I think Antonio Giovinazzi will stick with Alfa Romeo. He will become the lead driver, and he will be paired with Robert Schwartzman, who will move up from the Formula 2 series this season. So no space for Callum Ilott, unfortunately. As much as I'd like to see another British driver on the grid, I do think it will be Robert Schwartzman, who partners Antonio Giovinazzi at Alfa Romeo. And let's move on to Alpine. Now, they've got Fernando Alonso. 2-year deal. He's partnering Esteban Ocon, who is out of contract at the end of 21. But I don't think Alonso's going to be at Alpine in 2022. I think Ocon will be retained. I think Ocon will do enough. I've already said in my teammate comparison and battles episode, I'll link that up here, so you can go and check that out, see who I think is going to come out on top in each team. I think Ocon's actually going to beat Alonso, because Alonso's going to take a little bit of time to get up to speed. He's had his accident on his bike now and hurt himself. So how fit is he actually going to be? How sharp is he going to be come those opening races? If the Alpine car is good and Ocon can continue that form he built up at the end of 2020, then he could get a really good head start on Alonso and retain his seat. I think Alonso is going to become disillusioned with being beaten by Ocon and turn around and say, you know what, that's it for me. Formula 1, I'm done at the age of 40, which is going to leave a seat spare. And Alpine are going to turn to Pierre Gasly. They're going to get him out of the Red Bull system, and they're going to put him against his not so best friend Esteban Ocon for 2022 in an all-French affair, which has a real competitive edge. And I think while they may not be that friendly, you don't have to be best pals to be a great team. You look at some of the best partnerships in years gone by, they weren't always, the best of buds, really. Obviously, that comes with its risks. We could have a Senna, Prost, Villeneuve, Pironi, Alonso, Hamilton style blow up between the two teammates. But I think Gasly and Ocon are both professional enough to realise that the team is the bigger picture, and that will drive them forward in future years. So Alpine will have Gasly and Ocon in a French super team for 2022, which then leaves a space at AlphaTauri. Now, I don't think Yuki Tsunoda is going to do enough to warrant being hiked up into the Red Bull senior team, so he's going to stay at AlphaTauri for a second season, but he's not going to be the team leader. Alex Albon's going to return to Formula 1 from the cold, and he will come in and lead the AlphaTauri team, which will give him a boost of confidence and gets him back behind the wheel, whether he ends up moving out of the Red Bull system in a way that Gasly and Ricciardo have done, and Vettel as well, remains to be seen. Obviously, I'm speculating that Gasly will go. He may not. I think he will. So Gasly goes, Albon comes back in, and they rebuild his confidence with the AlphaTauri for 2022, where he is partnered with Yuki Tsunoda. Good, solid lineup. AlphaTauri looking to move up in the midfield, and if they can rebuild Alex's confidence, then AlphaTauri could be somewhere where he can thrive. So Albon and Tsunoda is my 2022 AlphaTauri partnership, which leaves us with Red Bull. Obviously Perez is under pressure, but I do think he will do enough to warrant being retained for 2022. And with the new regulations coming in for that season, having a continuity between the drivers will be really important. So Perez will partner Max Verstappen in 2022 at Red Bull. Williams. Now I haven't mentioned Williams yet because it does kind of tickle into what I'm going to say about Mercedes. So Williams are going to lose George Russell, but Valtteri Bottas is going to return to the team. Williams are going to have made a step. They've got a closer working relationship with Mercedes for 2022. So Bottas is going to step back into that seat, lead the team, lead the revival, and he's going to be partnered by Nicholas Latifi, which means that there is obviously only one place that George Russell is going to end up, which will be at Mercedes. So Williams will be led by Valtteri Bottas as they move further up the grid, because I think they're going to have a better year this year. They're going to pick up points with George and Nicholas. Bottas is going to come back and carry on that momentum for 22, which leaves us with Mercedes as the last pairing. George Russell will partner Lewis Hamilton in 2022. I don't think Hamilton's going to retire this season, even if he wins the championship or not. He will be back on the grid for 2022. He'll be partnered by George Russell. It's going to be a kind of handing over the baton to the next leading light with Mercedes. Mercedes need to get George in that car. Whether they partner him with Bottas or Hamilton is the big question. Partnering him with Hamilton will probably be better, because I think while George won't be submissive, he will push Hamilton, and we will see the very last ounces of greatness from the man who is statistically the most successful driver of all time. He can learn so much from Lewis, whereas I don't think he will learn quite so much from Valtteri. And against Bottas, with Russell and Bottas, if you put them together for 22 and say, you know, it's a closer fight with Verstappen and Perez, you might have a situation where those two are competing for dominance within the team, and it actually stops them beating Red Bull or someone else who has done a good job with the 22 regulations. So Lewis Hamilton and George Russell for the 2022 Mercedes drives, because obviously they're both up for grabs at the moment, because Hamilton and Bottas are both on a single year deal. Hamilton will be re-signed, Russell will step up, and that is my 2022 grid. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on the 2022 grid. Where do you think everyone's going to end up? Do you think I've got anyone drastically wrong? Do you think that Gasly will go to Alpine, or will he stay at AlphaTauri? Do you think that Hamilton will retire or not? Let me know down in the comments. Give me your thoughts. Tell me who you think is going to end up where. And if you liked this content, check out some of my other videos. I'll leave some links to them at the end of the video. I'm uploading some Formula 1 2020 gameplay videos, so let me know what you think of that. Let me know who you think is going to be where in 2022. And I've been Aaron, this has been the 5 Red Lights, and that is the checkered flag on another video. I will see you in the next one, guys. That's bye bye for now.